Today we're going to take a look at the Kingjoy KH-6750 video fluid head. First of all, a little background story. This is my main fluid head that I use for all my B-roll shots, for all my videos on YouTube. This is the Manfrotto MVH500 AH fluid head, and it's amazing. It's a beast of a fluid head. It costs only $130, $140 but it's totally worth it. It's really amazing. One problem with this fluid head is the size and weight. Look at it. It's really big. Like I said, it's a beast. It's 1 kilogram, which makes it almost the weight of my tripod. This tripod is by Sirui, and it's 1.2 kilograms, so 1.1 kilogram. It's really lightweight, and this fluid head is almost the same goddamn weight. And sometimes I want to shoot my videos outside, I want to film some B-roll outside, and I have to carry these two things with my small little backpack. Actually not that small, but it's pretty small. And it just feels way too heavy, way too big, and I only use like a small DSLR camera with one lens that's not that heavy. So I was thinking to myself, why I use this outside? I should use this at home, and I can buy something compact for myself to when I'm shooting outside, I want to film some B-roll outside. So that's how I came across the Kingjoy KH-6750. Look at the size of this fluid head. It's much smaller than the Manfrotto one. Pretty much half the size. I would say even like 40%, 35% of the size of the Manfrotto. The weight is around 500 grams, including the handle. And this is how it looks. Pretty cool, pretty compact, looks pretty good. Built out of metal. I think it's alloy or something. But it feels pretty solid for only $23. Links will be down below. This feels like a pretty good fluid head, but it has a lot of problems. So let's start with the first problem. First of all, when I bought this fluid head, I was thinking that the plate that comes with this fluid head is a Manfrotto plate, like this one. But it's not. It looks like it. It looks like a small version of this plate, like a short one, but it's not. This one is a little bit wider. The Manfrotto one is a little bit wider than this. So you can't really use this plate, or you can't use a Manfrotto plate with this fluid head because it's thinner than the Manfrotto one. So I was hoping that this plate would be a Manfrotto one, but it is not. But I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna somehow put like a, like a quick release adapter on the top of this plate, and I'm gonna use my Manfrotto one. I'm gonna put an Arco Swiss because I'm using Arco Swiss plates. So it's not really a big deal. The only thing that I care for is how well it works in terms of like panning and tilting. And this is the biggest problem of this fluid head. Compared to this fluid head, this thing is just not smooth at all. Maybe I'm too spoiled by this big Manfrotto fluid head, but I don't know, it's just not that good. The tilt motion is kind of fine with this fluid head, but the panning is just, oh, it's just so bad compared to this. What I usually like to do with a fluid head, and as you can see I have a rubber in here, like a small one, I like to have really small panning motion and really slow tilt motion. That's why I use this rubber, to have like extremely precise and slow motion with this fluid head, and it works really great with this one. I try to do the same thing with this one, and it's not working like this at all. You know what? I'm gonna mount my camera right now on this fluid head first, and then I'm gonna mount my camera on the other fluid head, on the Manfrotto one, and I'm gonna let you see how this one compares to this one. Okay, so I have my camera mounted on the Kingjoy KH-6750 fluid head, and I wanted to share with you one more problem that I have with this fluid head. So this is the handle that came with this fluid head, but unfortunately I can't really use it with the fluid head because I can't really screw it in because my camera does not allow me to. So you can't really use any camera, for that matter, with this handle. You're gonna have to use another handle. So I'm gonna use my Manfrotto one, because with this one I'll be able to use this fluid head as a fluid head. Let me show you how this fluid head performs. First of all, my camera with the lens is around 1.7, 1.8 kilos. Heavy, but not that heavy. So let's start with the tilt motion. I'm filming my other fluid head here, and I'm gonna try to be as stable as possible with the tilt motion. And like I said, the tilt motion works way better than the panning motion. So I'm gonna be very gentle. And as you can see, it's working pretty good. Okay, one more round with the tilt motion. The tilt actually feels pretty good, not that bad, but still just not as smooth as the Manfrotto one. So look, if I want to have a really smooth motion, I can't really do it with this fluid head because it kinda, I don't know, it kinda jumps. It doesn't have like a consistent smooth motion, you see? I'm using the rubber and I can't really have a consistent smooth motion. So it's not really working. I'm gonna try to use my hand now, and with my hand it's gonna be a little bit better, but still it's just you look, just I don't know. I'm trying my best here now. One more round and I'm gonna try to be more still. It's just terrible. The panning motion with this fluid head is just terrible. I don't know, I just don't like it. Let me show you how the Manfrotto one works. Alright, so now I have the Manfrotto fluid head mounted on my tripod. Let me show you how well this thing works compared to the Kingjoy one. So let's start with the tilt motion like before, and I'm gonna do it with my hand. As you can see, it's really smooth, and I'm usually not using my hand. I'm using this rubber thing because it makes it even smoother. Alright, so now I'm gonna use this rubber thing and I'm gonna show you exactly how much it helps with the smoothness of the motion. It's really good. Now let's do some panning motion with the Manfrotto fluid head. The panning is just so awesome. Usually when I'm panning, I'm not using my hand, I'm always using this rubber because it makes everything so much smoother. And check this out. I can do micro movements with this rubber. Look how smooth it is. Really smooth. Now I'm gonna use my hand, and even with my hand, it's a lot smoother than the Kingjoy one. Again, it's not as smooth as using a rubber, but just the motion feels much better than with the Kingjoy fluid head. Look at this. When I'm using a rubber, this is just so much smoother and so much better. It looks so cool. Alright, so I guess this is it. Should you buy this fluid head? Well, it depends. If you're just starting out and you want something then nothing, then definitely yes. It's built out of metal, it's lightweight, it's small, it's portable, and it's not that expensive, most importantly. But it's not gonna give you the best fluid motions. You're gonna have to practice a lot, or maybe if you use like a smaller cameras like a GoPro or a point and shoot, or like a small mirrorless camera with a small lens, maybe it will be much smoother. But for my kind of needs, it's just not working that great, in my personal opinion. First of all, the plate is weird. Second of all, the thing with the handle, and then the fluid motion is just not as good as my Manfrotto one. So I guess this is it for today. If you have some questions, comments, let me know down below, and I guess I will see you in the next one. Peace out.